McNeill.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I was contacted yesterday, Presiding Officer, by a lawyer of a constituent who was prosecuted for stealing £30,000 from the post office. He is not a sub-postmaster, although his mother was, and they were both prosecuted for the theft. My constituent even repaid the £30,000 so his mother didn't need to go to jail. Now, I do not imagine at all that this will be a unique case, but can ask that if any quashing of convictions in any legislation will be extended to cover everyone where their convictions are directly related to Horizon and also the Post Office.
Lord Advocate.
So I think what's been referred to there is a case that's currently live before the Court of Appeal in Scotland, and I can't comment on live cases. I think I recognise from the particular information that's been referred to there that this is actually one of the live cases that's before the Appeal Court. So what I think is important to understand is that many of these cases are very old, and it's difficult to establish what the factual circumstances in many of the affected cases were because of the Crown policy of destruction of summary cases that are over 2 years old and Chevron jury cases that are over 5 years old. So much of the material that we require to rely on and interrogate is material that's been obtained through the Post Office and indeed some of the work of the Scottish Criminal Review Commission. So although evidence obtained from a Horizon system may have featured in any case, that doesn't necessarily mean that the prosecution was reliant on this evidence and that no crime was committed. In many cases, as I've pointed to, there was an immediate and unequivocal admission of guilt by the accused, but identification and corroboration of the offence came via the Horizon system. So one difficulty encountered is the passage of time, and we've been required to recreate to the best of our ability what the prosecution case may have been, based on information from a variety of sources. That is time-consuming and challenging. And in terms of complexity, there are complex legal issues arising here because they relate to sufficiency of evidence and whether or not Horizon was essential or not essential to the sufficiency of evidence. It introduces questions about withdrawals of guilty pleas, and in any normal case, these are difficult issues for the appellate law, and they become even more difficult in circumstances for Horizon cases for the reasons that I've described. So the ongoing process that I'm involved in, that the prosecution service is involved in, and the recognised processes that we are engaged in, is time-consuming, but it's complex, and there's good reason for why it has taken quite so long. And I would point finally to the issue that I've raised before, which is it wasn't until 2019 when the English court decided that the Horizon system was fundamentally flawed in the face of repeated assurances by those from the Post Office that we could begin to make the progress that we are now making for all of those people who have suffered a miscarriage of justice.